Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League. We are here for season number 21 to start off here in Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix. And it's going to be an interesting one. First season, or first proper season on the new game of F1 25. Slight difference in physics. And yeah, it's going to make things very, very interesting. I think a bit of a shake-up in the grid. We'll go through all the drivers in a bit. But my name is JPH, and I am joined, well, for the first time ever in the commentary box for me, by Mikey RK13. Good evening, Mikey. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks, Chief. Yourself? Looking forward to our first race of the season. So.
Yeah, actually, it's going to be good. Aaron Markham in the chat. Obviously, please do make sure you let me know how the balance is between the game and myself and Mikey. It's the first time I've actually done the broadcast on the game, so if you want slightly more game audio, do let us know in the comments. But Mikey, Mexico City, always a good circuit. Always produces good close racing, especially with the long DRS zone down towards turn 1.
Definitely. Obviously, as you know, it's a firm favourite of mine, Mexico. It's not really one that you can just go, I'll go. You have to make that decision. Do you go for the straight line speed, or do you go for, obviously, the more aerodynamic grip for, obviously, the second sector and the end of sector 3? It's sort of, I'd like to say a mix and match, but I generally believe it. Personally, from my experience, I'm more comfortable with more aero on this track than pace, but obviously I'm not as good as I used to be in 21, 22 when I could be quite competitive, but be interested to see what the guys bring out today. And yeah, it's nice to see quite a few cars already out on the track. Obviously, compared to our valuation races, where it was preset, these are all custom setups now. So it's, no one's, well, the odd teammate might have the same if they're communicating, but obviously it's a lottery now. It's going to make it quite interesting. So
we're going to go on board with Owen then for the first ever qualifying lap in season 21 here in Tier 1. The Ferrari driver coming down towards turn number 1 after this mighty long straight, hitting the brakes at 100 metres before you turn it in. Flick a little bit of the sausage curb if you can, trying to just straighten up everything. Try not to let the back end move out of turn 3 as you head down through the second of the DRS zones towards turn number 4 and 5. Bring it through the left. You want to keep it tight on the left hand to open up the right, because then you get a nice drive up through towards 6 and I believe 7. And then back down as we head through all these S's. Cut as much as you can get away with, but it's a big slide and an invalidation, so we're going to move over to, again, the controls right, to Kent.
Right behind him.
Kent in the Sauber as he's coming down through the S section. Through turn number 11 he comes into the third and final DRS zone. Hit the brakes just after 100 metres. We head into the infamous stadium section. Don't go too wide. Back to the right hand side for the hairpin left. Second gear, feather the throttle as you go through the right-hander. Penultimate corner for 16 through the Peritauta. And coming up to the line, Kent in the kick Sauber. What's it going to be? A 161 kicks us off here in season 21. And Sydney immediately... immediately into the 115s for Sydney in the Haas. We've got Nathan coming across the line as well. He puts in a 15.8. Ruddo just starting his lap. The former, if I remember, Tier 2 champion, Tier 3 champion as well. So Ruddo Gattuso going through the motions as well, through the S's, Ash Tube into the stadium section, and I'll let Mikey have a few pence worth.
Obviously, Gattuso going through the stadium section. Oh, got the yellow flag. Not sure what's gone on there on the main straight. Last corner. Well, penultimate, then obviously the last corner going on to the main straight, and he's got a 116.5. So who else? Ruddo's now going through the S's. See if there's anyone else close there. No, so we go back to Ruddo. It's just gone through those S's. Just going to stadium now. Like I said, try and keep it tucked in on the right hand side, especially on the left. but obviously don't try and sit on the curb too much in case it spits you out. Put over the corner. The last corner. Just gonna see what he does. Oh, a 1:16.3. Okay, not a bad start, to be fair. See what, oh, and there we go, is ARL coming through the last two corners as we speak. See what lap they put in. Oh, it's a 1:15.749. Okay, so that leaves just Owen and Stinos.
As you know, Owen obviously abandoned that lap earlier. Stinos, I don't know if I've seen him out yet. This could be the first time he crossed the line to start his account.
This is his full lap now. So.
But yeah, obviously Roddo 1.2 off the pace of Sydney. But I think as the night progresses, as the session progresses, and drivers get more and more comfortable with their cars, that gap's going to close up quite nicely. And ultimately, we've seen it a lot of times before. It's not always about Saturday. It is about Sunday when the points are available.
Definitely.
So
one thing I have noticed slightly, a few of the corners, it looks like the car's gonna skip out. If you know what I mean. Like it's just wanting to like not be connected to the road. Even after the guys are pushing a bit too hard.
It's quite an odd surface in Mexico because obviously
Yeah.
it can be a little bit dusty at times. It's not necessarily the cleanest tarmac, and as we say, it also depends on what setup you're running. Because if you're running quite low downforce, there's quite high up, the air is quite thin, so it's why you tend to run. It's why you tend to run quite high wings around here to try and get that sort of downforce of turning. But some drivers will opt for, as I think a McLaren just took out the bollard on the pit entry. Still goes into ninth. Yeah, there'll be some drivers who decide to run lower wings and try and take advantage of the speed down the main straight in the hope that they'll be able to defend through the corners. Because whilst the overtaking is possible around here, generally speaking, you're looking at sort of turn 1, turn 4, where you've got the DRS, and then also as you enter the stadium section, or where you've got heavy braking zones after DRS. Most of the other places, you don't normally see the overtaking manoeuvres unless it's very opportunistic.
Yeah, sorry to just jump away from you there, Jord. Obviously, Stinos just gone 10th with a 1:15.9. So, still had a good, obviously, lap to be fair. Yellow flags. Turn 1. Is that Aston Martin, I
And
believe?
Owen jumps into third position, a 15.449. Now,
Brilliant.
we've seen Owen do this before. He's very, very quick as Owen. Very quick driver, no doubt about it. But he always, last season before in F1 24, he always got caught up in stuff. Always ended up sort of in an incident, whether that be through his own fault or sort of caught up in someone else's accident. So hopefully this season he gets that a little bit more luck, because we know he can be up there fighting for wins and podiums all of this season. So hopefully that luck will be quite good.
Definitely. Obviously, that'll be quite an interesting partnership, to be fair. Obviously, Roddo and Owen, obviously, two really fast-paced drivers. From what we know, obviously, first time they've teamed up together in the league. So it'd be quite interesting to see how that plays out. But obviously, yeah, it's to be fair, some quite interesting team sort of choices that we've obviously come across over the past week. Obviously, it was part of the application stage. Obviously, after the evals, all the information going out to the drivers to provide the information to us. So it was quite interesting to see certain people who think, oh, they'll team up with this person or that person, and obviously across the whole league as a whole. Yeah, it was quite interesting to see, if I'm honest. So caught me by surprise a few times.
I mean, whilst obviously drivers are going around doing their laps, I'm going to take you through the lineup of Tier 1 for this season. In the McLarens, you do have Ginger Tiger and Nitro Gash, a long-standing driver pairing for as long as I can remember, as Nathan gets a little bit sideways through 6, just as he enters turn sector 2. In the Ferrari, we do have the new pairing of Roddo and Owen. Red Bull has Stinos and Joshua Bashford, or Bashi. Joshua Bashford not here tonight. In the McLarens, we have Yella Geeson and Sunboy. In the Aston Martins, Nathan and Gattuso. Gattuso, very quick driver in his own right, was very quick in Tier 2 in the last season of F1 24. We have the De Boer brothers in the Alpines, Bjorn and Milo. In the Haas, we have Sydney and Typhoon. That could be a very strong pairing, with Typhoon seemingly struggling a little bit at the moment through qualifying. In the RBs, you have ARL and Ash Tube. Again, a very long-standing partnership between those two drivers. Know each other very well, good friends off the circuit. So, again, another strong pairing there in terms of communication. In the Williams, you have Merckx and Shortbread. Unfortunately, Shortbread not here tonight. In the Kick Saubers, we have Kent and Ivan. That's a very interesting dynamic, that pairing from the pre-season. But Ivan not here tonight either. So, a few drivers missing, but still 17 on the grid tonight. And we've got some very quick pairings, and I think the ones to look out for really are the Boer brothers, Milo de Boer and Bjorn de Boer. Because in pre-season they were very, very quick, as Sunboy is now third in the Mercedes.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. Definitely, yeah. Obviously, just seeing as you going through the teams, then Sydney posting that fastest lap of a 1:14, so our first driver into the 14s. Obviously, all comments coming in on the stream, much appreciated. Obviously, Aaron obviously saying about sound quality, so like it's not too bad. Obviously, just might be the game's low.
Yeah, so we'll deal with that after qualifying.
Yeah.
Get through qualifying, we'll adjust it ready for the race.
Okay. But obviously both Paul, yeah, thanks for watching, buddy. Obviously the Wolf Nitro Gas will bottle it. I think that's a bit of a friendly rivalry with that one. It'd be interesting to see. So, but no. ARL. So, to be fair, it's actually been quite.
You start seeing the times now. 3 drivers into the 14s. Milo de Boer, Yellow Geeson now into the 14s as well. ARL 4th, and I must admit, in probably the best looking car this year. And I'm a McLaren fan, but I really do like that livery's Ash Tube in the same outfit. Goes 4th quickest in that RB. One of my favourite liveries, that one, that RB. It's fantastic to see.
I agree. To be see, I'm a bit controversial, but I actually sort of like the Ferrari one, with obviously the white, obviously accents, obviously the HB logo. You makes it pop out a bit, but no, the RB one is, yeah, it's got to be probably the best one on the grid, to be honest. So obviously Red Bull's Red Bull. It's just been the same for the past 10 years. So
Stinos
sort of surprised.
Just coming to the line. What can he produce? A 14.9. He jumps up into 4th. So drivers now finding that rhythm, finding the pace. Bjorn de Boer into the pits. 5 minutes to go. He'll definitely get at least another run. Ruddo on an out lap. I think everyone else now on in laps. Yeah, including Yellow Geeson. They should all get one more lap. It's interesting that a few people have gone out now, like the likes of Owen, Kent, Ruddo. They've gone out a little bit early. Possibly just to have that clean track, but we're going to have more people joining the circuit as we come into the final phase and everyone prepares for their final laps.
See what Astro can do.
I think Ashtube should be coming into the pits this lap, unless he's gone again. I'd be surprised.
No, he's on the main straight now. Unless that was his warm-up lap, to be fair.
That's very interesting, because he's not long set that 15.3, so he must have been fueled up for a couple of runs as he launches it over the curb, and pretty much that was always going to happen over that curb. I mean, not a bad idea to test it, because he can probably just about get back around, get into the pits, and get out again for a final run. So just testing how much that Kirby can take. So it turns out, not that much.
Obviously our first spin of the season though, obviously from what we've seen so far, but car's still going, no damage, happy days, got it round, and obviously for the best.
Owen on his next flying lap, he's just a little bit quicker in the first sector, quite a hard sector to go quicker in, because it is basically a straight and 3 corners. Unless you've got your line horribly wrong through 1, 2 and 3, very hard to make up time as we then head down towards into the S's. And here, you've got to be so brave when you're qualifying, like taking as much curb as you can go in, and he's just invalidated because unfortunately the limits is not the curb, it is the white lines that define the edge of the circuit, and he's just gone over that. Kent on a bit of a warm-up.
Well, his teammates now just coming through the S's, so he's not too far behind, but he's kept it between the S's, giving it the beans, coming up towards the stadium section, going right, throw over to the right, throw back to the left, hugged by Apex, going back over to the right, obviously going around the penultimate corner, and obviously just get it going. Let's see what he's got.
15-7, 10th place, a second off. I think Ruddo's sort of pace were coming in the race, if I'm completely honest. He's very good on his tyres normally. There's Ruddo.
I'm not sure what's happened with Nathan.
I think he's just been getting out of people's way a little bit. He's trying to get that outlap right. He's trying to also build a gap to, I think that's probably Nitrogash ahead of him in that McLaren. Question is he going to go for the battery? Yes, he does. So he is now starting. What will probably be his final lap.
Yeah, but obviously he's got Ginger behind him as well. So obviously if Ginger can sort of, well, I don't think he'll be able to do much now, but yeah, just hope for the best. Obviously people now still coming out the pits, going for last ditch attempts. Cutting it short, to be fair, if I'm honest, but
yeah, it's quite a short lap around here, so you get around in about a minute and a half on an outlap here. No doubt. But Kent just a little bit slower at the moment on his latest attempts. He's not got a lot of battery left to use as he comes through the Peritalta.
Oh, he's going to keep going.
He might as well, because he's not going to get another lap in. He's gone 3/10 quicker, up into 9th for this Albert. So the times are dropping. Sydney is on a lap as well. Let's have a look. He is... I was going to say he was on a lap unless he's backed off.
Is Owen going again, or is he... Oh, no, Owen's going to go again. Just starting his lap now.
See who else we got to complete laps. Obviously, Ruddo. That's great teamwork between the two Ferrari teammates. If Owen's managed to give... Ruddo's giving Owen the slipstream there. So, really nice teamwork from the Ferraris. We've got a bit of a queue building down towards turn 16. We've got to be a little bit careful here because... there could be others on a lap, like I think Gattuso's just anchored on the brakes. Nathan coming through the final corners, he's going to go again. He's obviously made a mistake on his last attempt. Nitro 16th is where he's going to be starting, unless Typhoon has anything to say about it, but we have a lot of cars here in the final sector, trying to find some form of pace. When I say pace, I mean space, as they come through the hairpin.
But for the Ferrari boys, obviously called this perfectly. Wait, hang back a bit, let everyone else get on with it, and we've got all the space we can play with. Oh, just caught it there, going into the left hand, back to the right. Oh, someone kept it on the track.
Yep.
Oh no!
Big slide for Owen. He's had to abandon, and Ruddo. He does improve, but not by a lot. So 12th for Ruddo, 9th so far for Owen. Who we got coming through though? That's the question. There is a McLaren on the way through. That's Nitrogash. He's down on his time, so he isn't really going any faster. Merckx down 11th, and he's invalidated. So Merckx isn't going to go any higher than 11th. That's incredible. New games and all that. Who else? Ginger Tiger's invalidated. Is that
Gattuso's got no fuel.
No. Nathan coming through. He's the next one. He's got a bit of a wiggle on through the Peritalta. Doesn't go any quicker.
No.
We've got Mercedes drivers coming through. Sunboy stays in 8th. Yellow Geese.
Sydney's invalidated.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Sydney earlier, but Minor de Bow, what can he achieve? Not quick enough. He's gone slower again. Sydney then on pole position. Ashtube, does he? No, he's gone 6th quickest in the RB. And I think Gattuso you're saying is out of fuel, and he'll be coming into the pits. So it is going to be the Haas of Sydney 5802 who takes the first pole position of season 21. And he's going to have he's going to have a really nice starting position. But round here, actually, the second row might be a better starting place because you're going to get the slipstream as you come off the start line.
Definitely. obviously that shook it up a bit. Obviously, being against a few of these guys, obviously last season, on 24, it was quite interesting. Obviously to see where they are now, obviously in this sort of order. So no, I reckon it's gonna be an interesting race, mate. This could be quite interesting.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
definitely,
like,
definitely interesting. I think Gattuso got caught up in. I think Gattuso was on a lap when everyone went slow into the stadium section, trying to find any sort of space. He was on a hot lap, I think. But through the grid, then Sydney takes pole position from Jelle Milo de Boer takes third with Stinos fourth. Row 3 is ARL and Ash Tube. Row 4 Ginger Tiger beyond de Boer. Sunboy 9th, Owen 10th. Kent 11th, Merck 12th. Rodo 13th. Gattuso 14th. Nathan is in 15th with Nitro alongside, and Typhoon will start on the 9th and final row by himself in 17th place in the Haas. It's a massive Haas sandwich. Sydney at the top, Typhoon at the bottom.
I've got a feeling someone's been to a few delis. No. So off watching that slightly, where's your predictions? What is your? This could be in. Like, where do you think they might end up? Obviously, because a big one here is safety cars, but there's a lot of runoffs, so it's gonna be harder. There's a lesser chance of the safety car deploying.
There is, but then there's a lot of places that's quite high speed as well, and obviously if you hit the wall, there's a higher chance of the safety car also coming up because of how high speed it is. I mean, we've seen in the past, around here in real life, whether that's going to translate into the game, that if someone hits the wall, especially in that S section, out in sort of the turn 1, 2, 3 complex, generally speaking, they'll throw the safety car because of the speed of the car. And let's face it, through that S section, I don't think I'd want to crash and not have a safety car to cover me. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, hopefully, generally speaking, we don't want safety cars. That's the last thing, Whilst it does make racing interesting, we want everyone to have a nice clean race, get through the race nice and clean, especially because the top 12 score points here is not your common point system in terms of it's only the top 10 in IRL. It's the top 12 that score points, so it means that those near the back still have points to fight for, especially if they keep it clean and others make those mistakes.
Definitely, but to be fair, I think over the next, like, the first few laps, see what happens, and then just it just hit, I would say hit and hope. That just seems to be my just let's see what happens. So
So we're on Sunday. It is race day. It is dry. Spuds. Luckily, we're not relying on Spuds weather crew to tell us what the weather is. They probably tell us it'd be raining right now. But it looks like a dry race for now. See, it is dynamic weather, and Mike, you'll be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain we're still using approximate weather forecast.
from what I remember, yes. What I remember.
So, which makes things really interesting because obviously you get a bit of an idea of what's going to happen, but it doesn't necessarily happen when it says it's going to happen. And so here we are on the start line for the formation lap. And I'm just going to tweak this sound a little bit more. There we go.
Looking at this, it's going to be quite interesting at the back. Especially round here, going up to tier 1. If Typhoon could just sit on the back. Because everyone else is going to be fighting, like you said earlier, in sector 3. For that, any centimetre he can find into tier 1. Typhoon's just got to take the time. The first 4 corners. Take your time.
Biggest thing to any race is staying out of trouble, and it's quite interesting. A lot of the field going for the medium tyre, only 3 opting for a different strategy. Owen, Kent and TTG Nathan 66 all going with the hard compound tyre, so maybe not expecting that safety car. But as we've seen with tyre wear on this game in the pre-season, a lot of races I think this season are going to be sort of two-stop races, so it's going to be sort of interesting in that respect as well, because the hard runners, obviously, they're going to probably do 2 sets of mediums if the tyre wear is bad enough. So it means they're going to be on faster tyres whilst everyone else is running on the hard tyre.
Definitely. Obviously, me personally, I'd always start with a hard tyre. Get the harder compound with the heavier fuel out the way as soon as possible. Obviously, but if your teammate feels more comfortable, we've also got a disqualification already.
I think Milo has. I don't know if you can send him another invite there, Mikey, because I think Milo has.
Yeah, sure.
Disconnected. I'm pretty sure he just came out and said he left the session.
I've had nothing.
Welcome to Matty Rudd in the chat as well, saying Ruddo for the win, and Paul Racetech saying it's a great pole lap. It was from Sydney, a really good lap. But again, Yelagis and Milo and Stinos all setting just as good laps, just not quite good enough. As the cars come up to the grid. And we hope, obviously, Milo can get back into the session. Maybe not for the actual race start, but at least for after turn number 3. Ginger Tiger, unfortunately, unable to park in the correct parking bay.
Allocated position. Right, I've sent him an invite. Hopefully, he can get back in.
So here we go then. We are on the grid for the first time in season 21, F1 25. We have the 5 red lights. We are racing in Mexico City. Who's going to have the best getaway? Looks like Sydney's had a good getaway. However, it's the cars behind us, Stinos and ARL. Minor Bow has actually been disqualified for good, unfortunately, which is not ideal. So it's a really big shame for him. But as we head down towards turn number 1, side by side between Yella and Sydney. Yella down the inside, claims the position. Through 2 and 3 we go. Looks like we're going to get through cleanly so far, through 2 corners. Has everyone got through cleanly through turn 3? Yes, we have. A few a little bit wide, but generally speaking, it's a clean getaway as we head down towards turn number 4, 5, and 6. I believe 7 as well. That's just 6. There's the double right-hander. But Merckx fighting with Nitrogash, heading down towards turn number 6. And Nitro down the inside. Down towards turn 7, but Yellow Geeson, he's in the lead of this race, but he's got Sydney right behind him, just 3.5 tenths. And don't forget, this time around, it's DRS active after 1 lap. I don't think the main straight will get it because the detection is prior to the start-finish line. So the first 2 DRS zones won't be active until lap number 3, but the one down to the stadium will be open for business on lap number 2.
No, I was about to say, obviously Merckx dropped quite a few positions here. I don't know if he had damage or if he swerved in contact. But obviously from the looks of it, no one's pitted on lap 1, which is a good start. We'll tell you, tell a lie, sorry, Gattuso is pitted already. Yeah, he's got damage to his front wing. He's putting on hard compounds.
Unfortunately there for Gattuso is Merckx and Nitrogash still having a battle through turns 2 and 3 side by side. Merckx on the inside of 3 as we head down towards turn number 4. Is he going to complete the move? Yes, he is. He just about gets ahead, gets to the inside, claims the corner. Up at the front, Sydney has really taken the lead at the front though. He got past Yella. Question is though, can Yella stick with him, win the DRS zones to maybe go for a run into turn number 1? Because obviously double DRS zone. If you get the DRS for zone 1 at the main straight, you'll get it for after turn number 3. So you can maybe look to pull away.
Definitely. Obviously, his pack's obviously quite congested. It's quite interesting actually to see. Obviously, hopefully they stick quite close together. But obviously, there's all that gap starting to build just a little bit. Obviously, Stinos just hanging on, but he hasn't. Unfortunately, he's not got the DRS. Obviously, ARL going on the inside of him into turn 1. A bit of space between back into turn 2. We held him off in turn 3. He's off again. But yeah, no DRS. Whereas ARL's obviously he's got a DRS. But he's pulling Ash Tube, his teammate, along with him. So
And Owen,
quite interesting.
it must be said, Owen doing very well on those hard tyres. He's in 6th place, ahead of Ginger and Beyond the Boa. But he is the leading hard runner. He's doing a very nice job at the moment of staying in that position.
Definitely, obviously, Ruddo hanging on with that pack as well. And obviously trying to... Well, his teammate might be trying to defend his own position. Obviously trying to, you know, get something out of it. So... But he's obviously got DRS, so if he can keep within the DRS going through the stadium section, obviously he might be able to make a move, but I suppose we'll find out.
Through the stadium section on board with Ginger Tiger, we got Bjorn de Boer behind us. We're going to probably go back to Yellow Geese very shortly though, because he's only 4/10 behind Sydney. DRS will be open. Where's the pace of that Mercedes? Is it in the straight line? Is it in the corners? That has a slippery fish. Down the straight we go. And Sydney has the pace down the straight, so I think that Mercedes set up more for the corners as Beyond de Boer gets down the inside of Ginger Tiger. That's 7th place for the Alpine. And Nitric Ash and Typhoon.
There. I'm not sure he had DRS open at the end of the straight, to be honest with you. But obviously he's now defending from Stinos now. He's got to give him very close. See if he can make a move, or he's just going to hang fire. He's given the space. Okay, this is going to be quite interesting. Who's going to break? Stinos going to give position and let him go.
You'll never go around the outside of turn number 7. You're a brave man and you're facing certain execution on the outside.
Brave or stupid, it depends how you look at it.
Well, I don't think brave is the word, I can tell you that much.
Especially with me.
Stinos remaining in 3rd for now, but what that has done is meant Sydney has now broken a gap of 1.5 seconds. He's outside of DRS of Yellow, so he can now start to build that gap, create some nice space for himself, and let the rest of the pack sort of deal with stuff themselves. Sunboy has dropped outside of DRS of Bjorn as Merckx gets past Nathan in the Williams. Down the main straight he goes, and Stinos and Yellow Geeson. Stinos round the outside. Oh, Yellow very tight to the inside of turn 1. That probably cost him that position. Rode it down the inside of Ginger Tiger through turn 1, 2 and 3. Roddo was looking to get a really nice exit. Gets a bit of a slide though, which might compromise him down the straight. And here comes Merckx. Will Merckx look for a move? Roddo moves to the inside just to make sure he doesn't think about it too much. Fends off for 9th place. We are on lap number 5. Well, big twitch though for the McLaren of Ginger Tiger. We got a spin. Oh my word, that's Beyond de Boer. Beyond de Boer and Sunboy have gone round at turn number 5, and Beyond de Boer has got a 10-second penalty for a severe collision with Sunboy. So I don't know what's happened there.
I missed it, unfortunately. I was literally starting to go down through the order, so obviously I must have missed it. But obviously, I had to give Roddo a chance to sort of be back into 7th. Obviously, he's now Merck behind him, so be quite interesting. But to be fair for Owen, still
Gattuso has had an incident. He's lost his front wing and has spun at turn number 4. Now, I'm pretty certain he's been alone for the majority of this race, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but we've got moves happening for ARL on Yellow, the RB, and he's going to drag Ashu with him. Ashu down the inside. Fantastic stuff from the two RBs. They're going to get through turns 2 and 3 as Sunboy comes in the pits along with Ginger Tiger. So Ginger Tiger's got some damage. Beyond de Boer, as we know, will have damage. And I think Gattuso and Bjorn retired. Oh, I'm surprised he's retired in the pits. It's really early in the race, and as we know, anything can happen here.
It's not been the best of races for the Alpine guys, to be honest. Obviously, unfortunately, with Milo's disqualification, obviously not sure what happened there. And obviously, for that to happen to Bjorn, yeah, it's quite disappointing that, obviously, hopefully that's the only bit of bad luck they have this season, if I'm honest with you. It's quite a shame to see with only 6 laps in. So,
Owen was looking to the inside of Yellow, but nothing quite happening there as Gattuso has also retired. I mean, it's something I say a lot in racing and commentary, and that is, why retire this early? I mean, I know Gattuso might have gone a lap down, but, you know, as Typhoon becomes the first person to pick up a 3-second time penalty, But the race is long. We've got 36 laps here, so we're on lap number 7. Anything can happen. A safety car can happen as Owen looking all over the back of the Mercedes of Yellow. And yeah, top 12 score points here, so it only takes one safety car and you're right back in this race. Meanwhile, Yellow gets a really poor exit out of 3. He's going to be overtaken by the Ferrari of Owen. Owen looks to the outside. It's a good move around the outside this because you can keep the steering open.
Wow.
And Yellow demonstrating wide the outside. Nah, no contact, I don't think. I think it's just everyone just slow. Obviously, Owen had a bit of a moment, or obviously Owen was tight into turn 5, so he had to be slower, and obviously Yellow had that more open line. But Yellow, very expertly demonstrating why going around the outside of turn 4 is not a bad idea, because being that tight, it can cause the car to slide a bit. Ruddo's dropped a couple of positions from Merckx and Nathan. I think those medium tyres are starting to wear off, and the hard runners now are starting to gain a bit of time.
Starting to come into that element. So the thing is, do you reckon they'll probably pit the next 3 or 4 laps? Or do you reckon they'll go for a long haul as such? But then saying that, if they come in now, obviously if they go for the hards, how long are the hards going to last? You know, they've got to basically sort of walk it along as far as possible then on the hards, and sometimes you don't want to do that. You just want to obviously make it so you've got that optimum sort of life of the tyre, so you can get the max performance out of it. But then you don't want to be in the pits as many times as possible. So
looking around the outside of Yellow, he almost got the overlap, but not quite enough to really command the corner. He's going to have to wait just a little bit longer. Sunboy and Ginger Tiger having a battle down the main straight. I mean, I think this comes back to so with the strategy. It's sort of an old thing that I quite enjoyed doing as Kent now gets past Ruddo. I don't know if Ruddo's got any damage, because he is falling off the pace quite a lot. And I get the feeling this isn't just tyre wear for Ruddo. I think there's more damage than it's showing on that Ferrari. Because he's now got Typhoon right behind him, and you can just see that Ferrari just looks a little bit on the nervous side as he's coming through the corners. Is he going to come in the pits this lap? Yes, he is. So maybe the tyres are gone, and it's time for a new set of boots for the Ferrari. He'll be the first one to, I would say, have a first planned stop of the race.
Obviously, just on board with Owen at the minute, his teammate. Obviously, still doing an absolute stellar job on the hearts. Obviously, if you look at ash tubes, light was blinking then. So, question is he harvesting or is he generally low on his ERS? But no. Obviously, up the road, Stinos, good nearly 3.5 seconds up the road from ARL. But in Sydney, just in the world of the road, nearly 2 seconds up. They must be loving this at the minute. Open road, no one near them, just crack on. So.
Yeah, they can't get too complacent, because Stinos is a quick driver and he's only 1.6. That's not a lot of time in reality. If Stinos has looked after his tyres well enough, because obviously Sydney had that little bit of a battle at the start with Yella. So he might have had a bit of extra wear on those tyres. Obviously Stinos had to come up through a few people, but I think they were slightly easier moves in comparison to the battle of Sydney and Yella. But Owen now shaping up a move, I think, on Ashtube. Both of them have DRS. ARL will try and help his teammate as much as he can, but I just get the feeling that Owen is going to look to the inside. How late does he dare brake? Not late enough to drop it down the inside. So again, the RBs working very nicely as a team. And the big question now is Nitro into the pits now as well. So for his first pit stop. The question is, how quick is Ruddo going right now, and sort of what is the tyre delta looking like as he moves past Nitro? We'll start to get a bit of an understanding against Typhoon. 19.8 seconds to the Haas for Ruddo.
I was going to say, obviously before, obviously when I was watching Nitro, obviously as you come through the stadium, so like the mediums must have literally gone. So obviously the guys up front must be literally starting to coast, because as you can see here, Sydney's only a second ahead now of Stinos. Stinos has still got obviously 4 seconds on ARL, but obviously the RB boys are trying to fend back Owen. But obviously, like I said, obviously these medium, obviously compound tyres, I think they've literally got the goat. They're literally just like 1V drift tyres now. So she's just on board with Typhon here, going through the penultimate corner. Is he going to come in, or is he going to keep going? Oh no, he's going to keep going. But he's certain drivers are sort of sliding, but Yell is in the pits.
Yeah, Mercked in the pits as well. So those two have had enough of their medium tyres. Question is, where's Rudder going to come out in relation to them? Merck's definitely further up the road. I think Rudder's going to get Yellow Geeson here. Yes, he does. Up into 10th.
Did Yell have a penalty? Does it look like there was just no movement from the pits? So
I don't think he get a penalty unless he had to change the front wing.
Probably.
The Sunboy gets close to Ginger. Through the first few corners here on lap number 11. Owen's still right on the tail of the two RBs as well. We'll keep an eye on that gap as he comes through the stadium section and down towards the main straight. One thing I would say though, those that have pitted already now, they could well be two-stopping. Right now, Sydney and Stinos, I think they're going to try and do this on a one-stop. Onto lap 12 they go, they're now a third of the race through. If they can reach sort of, if they can start getting to sort of 15, 16 territory on these mediums, a one-stop is definitely doable.
It's quite interesting to see. Obviously, not much has gone on lately. Obviously, thankfully, our first 33%, if you want to be a maths wizard, of the race is instant free, mostly. Obviously, unfortunately, that instant on lap 2, 3. But other than that, it seems to be going okay. So far, so good.
Owen all over the back of Ashu right now, and you see the back end of that RB just sliding around a bit as the tyres wear. Owen would very much like to get past this RB, but the problem is... Oh, Ashu, big slide!
Oh!
Into the wall! And amazingly not retired, but...
Let me see if he's got damage.
He's got front wing damage for sure. So he'll have to come in the pits and get that changed, because that's going to handle very badly. No end plates at all on that RB. Just lost it on the curb. And as we say, when the tyres start to go, they really do go. Sydney into the pits then, lap number 12. Stinos takes over the race lead. Hard to go on to the Haas, and he's away again.
This is quite interesting for Ruddo, because obviously he can kind of back up the order to help his teammate. Well, obviously, Ashub's getting that new wing on, so let me see where Ashub is.
Just coming into the pit box now. You got to remember, he lost a lot of time in that spin, and getting back going again. And just getting it through that stadium section would be a nightmare without any sort of front wing. But so Ashub drops near the back of the pack. Owen now on the back of ARL. So he's seen one RB, he's now on the back of the next one. So Nitro and Sunboy are fighting a little bit. Oh my word, Owen, big moment, almost like Ash Tube, nearly a carbon copy. It was well held, but you can see that dirty air that he sat in is not helping him either, and it will be wearing his tyres more than he'd like. The question is, does ARL come into the pits now to get off those mediums? The answer is yes, he does. Stinos still going round onto lap 14, so Stinos really stretching this first stint out.
I reckon he'll put, like you said, to be honest, I think he'll probably pit in the next 2 or 3 laps. Chance it. I don't know, unless there's obviously a safety car, which we hope doesn't happen. Which I imagine you just pit straight away, but no. Was he TTG Nathan? So let's have a look where he started. They started in 15th, and they've just quietly gone up the order like it was
I
nothing.
think you have to note though that he hasn't yet pitted this race.
Oh, has he not put? Oh, okay. That's
Same
fair
as
enough.
Kent in 4th. Obviously, Owen yet to pit, Stinos yet to pit, and Typhoon yet to pit in this race. Obviously, this is one of the things. Obviously, when you start on that harder tyre, this is what you get. You go up the order, you know, because of other pit stops. But then, so you've then got to pit yourself, and you'll fall back down the order. So it's just where you sort of funnel out and what your tyre delta is compared to everyone around you, and whether you can then use that advantage to reel people in and claim your places back. As Stinos finally into the pits he comes. Owen will take over the lead of this race from Nathan. Kent, first of the hard tyre to stop. He's coming in on lap number 14. The kick Sauber going on to a set of mediums, and Typhoon. Oh, Typhoon speeds into the pit lane. And it's a 10-second penalty. Sunboy picks up 3 seconds for track limits. And Ruddo up into 7th, as you see there. ARL into 6th. Stinos comes out in 4th, and he's 7.5 seconds away from Sydney. Remember, that gap was about 1.2 when Sydney came in. So the power of the undercut here, and being in DRS. But the undercut being shown as well, because Merckx is in 3rd ahead of Sydney. I didn't realise that Merckx was ahead of Sydney at this point, so Merckx has really jumped up the order by that small undercut. But again, now it's all down to tyre wear and that tyre delta.
Definitely. I think obviously just looking at this the quickest battle on track, I'll say quickest battle, but is literally Sydney. Obviously taking chunks out of Merck there, going into the stadium section. So let's just see what happens.
I don't know what's happened to Owen, because Nathan's closed in on that Ferrari. That Ferrari looking a bit tail happy, so we might have a fight for the lead here, even though Nathan does have a penalty at present.
And Merck's just throwing in a faster slap as you do on a hard compound side. Oh, there's Nathan with the lead from Owen.
DRS assisted. And you'll get another dose after turn 3 to pull away from that Ferrari.
But obviously you've got both Merck and Sydney not too far behind. So obviously nothing silly sort of thing can happen. But let's see what... Oh, a little bit of drop off there. Literally feathering these tyres through the corners now. I think this could be quite... This is where obviously both Merck and Sydney will find obviously extra few tenths against the boys in the front. So obviously let's have a look. I've generally got a feeling both Nathan and Owen are going to come in this lap. I'd be so surprised if they don't bring those cars in.
It depends. If they want to go for a one-stop, I think they've got to go at least to a sort of 19 areas. Stinos picks up a track limits penalty. Merckx down the inside of Owen. The grip difference as Sydney looks to go around the outside. A little bit cheeky from Sydney. But you can see the grip difference. A bit of a slide from Owen. Bit of contact between the two, but it's sort of all kind of fair there. Owen, not intentional contact, just the car with very little grip, I think, in that Ferrari right now. But he's going to look for a move right back on Sydney. This is going to annoy Sydney a little bit as we head into turn 1. Merck was looking down the inside, is going round the outside.
Back on the inside. Oh, lovely. Move goes to the first section. Wow, that's great. Obviously, then Sydney goes, thank you very much. See you later.
And that's what 10 and 12 lap younger tyres of the same compound do for you in terms of grip. And it's probably why now you see Owen struggling so much now with that car through the corners. But it's probably why a lot of the drivers now start on that medium tyre, not necessarily because they don't like the idea of the alternate strategy, but because I think you lose so much time now because of the compound difference and the undercuts in essence. Is it worth it? Owen's off. Owen's just like caused the... Don't think he's got any damage. Looks okay, maybe just a spin, but
no damage, thankfully.
He's really struggling now. You can see those tyres are done. He needs a new set of boots like yesterday.
No. It's ironic. A few laps ago, we were saying, "Oh, look, Owen's going to make a move on the RB," and obviously now the RB is like, "Thanks, mate. See you later. Thanks for looking after that for me," and just yeah, waltzes past.
17 laps on those hard tyres. He's going to have to do 19 on a set of mediums. I don't see it personally, but well,
I
it's less
can't see that
fuel,
happening.
in the car now, so it should help the tyre wear.
But no, obviously Ruddo's back into sixth position now. Um, obviously see if you can do something, but no, Kent obviously at the minute, other than some boy Owen and Owen, Kent's the only one on the medium compound. So
The only team at the moment in double point scoring position is the McLarens of Nitro. There's the McLaren. So you got a few. You got McLaren, RB, Mercedes, all scoring double points right now. But everything very mixed up. So it's going to make the constructors very interesting. And those at the bottom, like Owen, Typhoon, they're going to want to keep going here because 13th, 14th, whilst do not pay points, they're not far away from those points paying positions. So, as we say, anything can happen, and every point in the season counts. And Sydney on the back of Merckx, DRS open. What can he achieve? Can he achieve anything down towards turn one? He's closing, goes to the right. Down the inside, Merckx not really going to fight this one. He knows it's probably not really wise to fight that because they'll just a bit wide that from the Williams. But yeah, wise not to fight that in the moment because otherwise you just lose time you don't need to. Yellow Geeson getting past Ruddo. Remember Ruddo on those older tyres. And I think that was Ashtube going past Ginger Tiger down the straight with some DRS. Owen past Typhoon again. Now Owen on those medium tyres. He's going to find a bit of grip. He's into the top 12. Sunboy in the pits now for the second time I think this race. Strapping on a set of hard tyres. Probably looking now to go to the end on those. Unless we have a safety car in due course. Lap 19 of 36 though, we are past the halfway point in the first round of Tier 1 of Season 21. And Sydney is the one leading by a second to Merckx. Nathan still in third on those 18 lap old hard tyres. He's managed to sort of conserve those tyres well, keep the wear in check. Stinos, we feel, should get past him though on this time down the main straight. That's if Nathan doesn't come into the pits. And he doesn't. And Stinos down the inside before he's even reached the DRS point. So easy pickings to the Red Bull and ARL behind. Again, should be fairly easy because Nathan's not going to have DRS.
Ruddo's in. I think Ruddo's coming in for the mediums. He's going to chance it, I think.
Mediums?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. That's interesting because he's got about 17 laps to do on those tyres.
But like you said, to be fair, when it comes to fuel regard, obviously you wait. Obviously, hopefully, like you don't know, do you? So it's obviously new game, new physics. So it's hard to pinpoint what might happen, but must be just going. Well, might as well give it a go. Points better than nothing. So, what else we got? Obviously, it's quite spread out. Obviously, closest battles at the minute is Nitro with Ashtube for 8th. So we've got a second, and obviously ARL trying to keep up with Stinos. So, well, that's pretty spread out. Also with Merckx. Oh, there we go. Could we see a move from Merckx? Quite far back, but let's see what happens. Obviously going into turn 1. 4 attempts behind Sydney, who's obviously on the fresher compound. So he's no DRS though. So
Yeah, Merckx having to work hard for this one as Owen goes past Ginger Tiger. Ginger's in the pit lane. So that'll be a free place for Ruddo as well.
so that's Ferrari potentially in a double scoring position as it stands.
Yeah, obviously very low double scoring, but it is double scoring at the moment. And as you say, every point will count, and it could be the difference between winning constructors. Interesting choice on Ginger. I think he's coming back in the pits again at some point.
He hasn't got a penalty, so that wouldn't affect it, innit? So
No, it's the tyre. He's chosen the softs. They're not doing 16 laps. It doesn't matter what fuel you got.
I've got a feeling they're going to try and go for fastest lap and
Yeah, but the problem is you don't get fastest lap if you're not in the top 12.
Good point.
Granted, no one else will get the point, but neither will he.
Yeah. Right, there's Merck going on the...
Yeah, pretty easy move that from Merck. Again, these two, they're very smart in terms of their racecraft. They know when to fight, they know when not to fight. And when you got a DRS like that and they're right on your bumper, there really is no point in fighting that. You'll lose more time than it's worth. Nathan finally comes into the pits. That's got to be for a set of mediums. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The question is, how much time has he lost by being out there for so long on those tyres? Obviously, but then others have also, like people like Ruddo, have already made a second pit stop, but Ruddo going to get him on the exit. By the looks of things, yes he does. Just about, but again, 2 laps difference between Nathan and Ruddo on these mediums. So, going to be interesting to see how that one pans out.
Definitely.
Back at the front though, Sydney, 7/10 to the wrong side of Mercked at the moment. The question is, are these guys really going to go to the end on this set of tyres? Or are we going to? I think everyone's got to be on a 2-stop here.
They have to stop again. I can't see how you could do a 1-stop in Mexico.
You say that, but Nathan's on a 1-stop.
Obviously, he's a better person than me. I will happily admit that when it comes to...
Obviously, Nathan's on that 1-stop, but he did, he did take those tyres a long way, but he's also having to do more laps on those mediums than the front runners did on their first stint. So,
so though, that's the thing. He's going to do 16 laps, was it, on the mediums?
Around there is Owen getting past Nitro in a straight line with DRS. ARL on the back of Stinos, so Stinos really isn't liking these hard tyres at the moment. Either that or ARL is loving them. Either way, the RB looking to hunt down the senior sister team of the Red Bull or Stinos as they go through the S's section. And ARL is going to have a real shot of this down the main straight, I think, as in Sydney will be. As we come through the stadium section, 0.6 of a second.
I just think he's missed. Yeah, he's just missing out on DRS, I think. ARL. Like 300th of us. Oh no, he's got it. Okay.
Remember that detection is out as they come, is in between the exit of the stadium and the penultimate corner at Paratalda.
Oh, I thought it was after. Is it Monza?
No,
not Monza. Can't remember what track it is. Anyway, you've got the detection there, and then like a few meters later, then it's there, sort of thing. But
yeah, no. If you have your track map on, it's the circle. The green circles are your detection points. For anyone who is watching, obviously the green circles on the track map is the detection point. The green, the sort of green starts and finishes are the DRS zones, and the yellow circle is where the speed trap is that we get absolutely no information on whatsoever here in the commentary box, so it's completely useless to us.
Just nice of EA to put that in for us, so we can sort of imagine what speeds people are going to be going.
In fact, no one really cares about their speed trap on the game. I mean, I don't think anyone really cares about it in real life, other than just to see if anyone's got a slight advantage. But back to the racing. Typhoon has Ruddo for company, and they'll have Nathan for company as well very shortly. Sydney keeping the rear wing of Merck nice and warm as we head down towards turn 1, and I think once again going to see a change for the lead, and Merck again just allows Sydney to go through here. Less wear on the tyre, don't strain the tyre, just get through here. Oh, a bit of a slide though from Sydney coming out with 3.
He's obviously got the DRS from the main straight. Obviously try and put a bit of pace between him and Merck before they do battle again shortly.
ARL unable to get past Stinos for now. Nitro gets Owen back in the pits already. That's intriguing. I'm not sure he did. I think I'm really. Oh, hello. That's interesting. Nathan was almost in the wall on the main straight, and he's picked up another 3 seconds for track limits. I do not know what's happened there between him, Rado, and Typhoon, but I'm sure we'll find out after the race. All I saw was an Aston Martin all over the grass, nearly in the wall.
That's what I got to be honest. So I'm not sure if he's just been a bit over the grass a little bit, and obviously that's where the detective's been. Obviously because I think he might have been obviously told off by the stewards previously to give him the lovely little 3 second penalty.
I feel like he might get that back as long as he doesn't get any more warnings, because to be honest, it looked like it was either evasive action or just really tight racing. He ended up on the grass, and it's given him a warning for basically driving in a straight line on grass.
Oh, they not have a penalty?
Yeah, 3 seconds. He had that earlier.
Oh, well, this is bad. I didn't notice. Oh, God.
Yeah, that earlier. But one thing that we are going to notice, Merck's in the pit lane. So, as we thought, the front runners on a two-stopper. Yellow comes in, Kent comes in as well. So we are now starting to see the final set of pit stops come through. And the question is, where is it going to shake up for Ruddo? Because obviously Ruddo, one of the earlier pit stoppers to get that undercut. Merck comes out in 4th place.
Ginger's coming off his soft tire.
Oh, it's tight. It's all 3 wide going into turn number 1. Nathan down the inside picks up 7th. Typhoon 8th. Nitric Ash 9th. Nitric Ash on 16 lap old hard tyres. He's not going to have a lot of grip left over, but Ruddo now up into 6th place. He's still got Nathan behind him. Typhoon behind that. As we head into turn number 4, and everything just settles down once again as Sunboy has Kent for company. Down towards turn 4, obviously no DRS for Kent, because obviously he didn't pick up any, and he was coming out of the pit lane.
No, it's a little mad 2 minutes there, to be fair. I was going to say, like, do you reckon that's why Owen's got in, get a new set of medium boots on, and just go for the end, the last 10 laps? So, because obviously, people obviously have to get the tyres warmed up on them out laps. Obviously, he's already had that 1 lap to get him going. Obviously, he's trying to keep up with, well, I say keep up, but more obviously get involved in this battle with Kent and Sunboy. He's just taking his time. Where he's obviously going to have DRS on the main straight. The question is how many...
Nathan with DRS. Sorry, Mikey. Nathan down the straight. Past Ruddo again. Ruddo, a very sensible racer as is Ruddo. As he'll know again when to defend, when not to defend. He'll probably just leapfrog with Nathan now, just to pull away from the pack.
Is he going to try both? He's going to do both of them. Ken's just fighting back, just very close. All
very tight, but good fair racing there. I think Kent almost got caught out by maybe not knowing that Owen was down the inside of the pair of them. But Sunboy loses out on 2 places, and Owen will be looking very enthusiastically at the back of that. So I want to see if he can get past, because he'll want to get past Kent to see if he can get onto the back of Yellow.
Definitely. Obviously, but the thing is, obviously, from Yellow down, obviously on the newer tyres, obviously other than Sunboy. So I think in their heads they think, oh, we can try and catch Nitro, who's on those 17 lap old hards, and Typhon, who's on the 12 lap old hards. So obviously they're going to be gunning to get more. There's a few extra points, but no. Obviously looking at Ruddo here, he's just Ruddo's coming in.
Oh, that's very interesting. He didn't go very long earlier on the mediums. So he's going to have to go another set of mediums if he's got one. Or is he going to? I don't think he had any more mediums left.
No.
So this is very interesting. Ruddo's tyre wear then seemingly not great at all in comparison to others. What I have done though for the stream, I have put the gap to the leader rather than to each other, because Merck 15.6 behind Sydney. He is on those medium tyres, but he hasn't got long left to try and catch up. 8 laps is all he's got, so he's going to have to go at just under 2 seconds a lap faster than Sydney to close that gap, and he's got to overtake ARL and Stinos in the process.
Obviously, I don't know, obviously from what we've seen earlier from obviously the original runners on the hards, they started to skate around this point on those tyres. But question is, can Merck obviously catch the pack, get past all 3 of them to take the top step with 9 laps to go? Sorry, not 9, 7 laps to go. My apologies. Mathing, not mathing tonight. But yeah. Um, then other than that, obviously it's quite far back then, to be fair, from Merck. It's good, what, 15, 16 seconds? Um, so, I don't know. Oh, I would make a move on Kent. Kent then coming back to the DRS.
As the fight coming down towards turn number 1. Kent flicking that DRS. I don't know if that's just meant to be a little bit of fun and games with Owen, just sort of going, I need it, I don't. And Nitro Gas has come back in. He'll go on to medium tyres. So those softs didn't last very long for Nitro, and I kind of fear for Rudder. Now he's in that really horrible part now where he might not be able to get to the end on that set of soft tyres.
There's what, these 11 seconds between him and Ginger. Obviously, those mediums are going to last because you've seen people go at least 10 laps on them, 10, 11 laps. So obviously that's Ginger sort of all the way through. Question is, can Ruddo make that stretch for 6 laps? That is the important question.
That is the $1 million question. Obviously, Tiger obviously came in, so everyone moved up one. Typhoon at the moment, 14 lap old hard tyres. He's in 7th, doing well, but he's being caught by Yella at a decent rate of knots. And I think this will be an easy move, and even easier because Typhoon comes into the pits.
Just on board of ARL is just over half a second now, behind Stinos. So this could be quite interesting.
Now, it's one thing this for ARL is, does he go for that move, or does he just go on the basis that Stinos has a 3-second penalty? I mean, most drivers will try and make this move on circuit because drivers can contest track limit penalties if they feel it was unfairly given, and they can provide the correct evidence in terms of their warnings list and obviously the footage of the warning that they get, and making sure that it's only 3 warnings they've gotten, so if one gets taken away, the penalty gets taken away. But at the same time, you take that risk, you could end up crashing with each other. So it's a really sort of fine line as to what you do here, as Nathan picks up another 3 seconds of penalties. But yeah, it's a really fine line. What you do here for ARL, do you risk that move and ensure you get that place on track, or do you sort of take a bit of a safer option and
coast it to the end?
Just follow him, but Merck's going to be right on them soon. He's 10 seconds behind Sydney. I don't think he's going to be catching Sydney. But you never know, especially when he gets a bit of DRS from the 2 ahead of him.
These 2, yeah. Obviously, what, just 2 seconds now separate ARL and Merck. But like you said, does ARL play the safe option and just there's a good chance Merck might catch him and just bring the car home for the points?
Owen finally gets past that Sauber through turn 1. One bit of a check up through 2. Again, I don't know if that's just because Owen was very tight on the line through 2, so trying to get that thing sort of turned in probably caused him to sort of
evasive action, to be fair.
Well, not evasive action for Owen, just obviously checking up the car, because if you're on a tighter line, you have to go slower to get the car turning. Otherwise, you go wide on the exit, you end up on the grass, and you can spin. So,
but no, obviously following Merck there, remains straight. Under a second now, or just over a second, give or take, behind ARL. So within this lap, he's going to be taking part in this little party for P2 shortly. Obviously, he's got no DRS, so it'd be quite interesting. Obviously, probably will get the DRS going through the S's now. So going right-hander, obviously.
Yellow Geeson about to make a move on Nathan. DRS assisted down the main straight, nice and easy pickings. And Kent isn't going to leave Owen alone. Here he goes to the outside and through on the Ferrari. These two good mates. They, I think they enjoy racing each other, and it's showing that here. Ashtube is a bit of an interesting one. He's got about 5 seconds to Yellow Geeson, but he's on 19 lap old hard tyres, so it could be a very interesting car to be driving right now, as Merck glued to the gearbox of ARL going into the penultimate corner.
Going to go on the inside of the corner, not even needing the DRS. But then, yeah. But no, ARL just trying to hang on to something. Obviously, Mert's obviously gunning straight for Stinos now. So, obviously, you still have this DRS from the main straight. Obviously, being a double, obviously DRS sector. So, and off again. But no, as it stands, we're just shy of 6 seconds between Stinos and Sydney with what, 3-4 laps ago.
4 laps including this one as Merck down the inside. How hard does Stinos fight it? He does fight it a little bit, he does squeeze that Williams, but ultimately traction wins. Traction wins from Merck, and that is a great example of I have a lot fresher boots than you do. Try and stop me. 5.7 is the gap.
These boots were made for walking, and that is what I will do. So
Owen gets past Nathan, and Kent also past Nathan. So Kent up into 7th, Owen into 8th. So it's getting better for Owen and Kent. Ruddo 6.6 behind Sunboy, and not really catching. I think those soft tyres are already crying, but he's going to have to hold on. He does have 11 seconds though to Nitro, so he's probably got a nice little. He's got enough of a buffer here. He can just sort of cruise his home for 11th and a couple of points for Ruddo.
Obviously, watching Merck there, he's chipping away at this time quite a bit. He's obviously already took over half a second out of it, but he needs to take considerably a lot more. Obviously, we're under 5 seconds now, so I think if he's under around 4 seconds mark, there's a really good chance.
Probably you could say he needs to take 2 seconds a lap, but the problem is if he takes 2 seconds a lap, he'll only just be on the back of Sydney at the end of this race.
It's 2.5.
He needs to take a bit more to make sure he can get up to Sydney and actually have a chance to attack him. And I don't think he's going to, at the moment, the way this is going, he's not going to have that chance. 4.7, what's it going to be through the S's? Because this is where he should gain quite a bit of time with the grip, but as you know, those mediums after 8 laps, they do start to go off.
But those obviously 21 lap old hearts, they must be absolutely unsufferable. I would not. A little bit of just feathering the throttle through the last corner there. But no, 3.9 seconds now down the main straight. So this could be close. I'm not gonna lie, this could be quite close.
Merck's got to get on with it though. He has to. I think he has to be a 1.5 over the line this time around to even think about having a chance at Sydney at the end of the lap.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight. And the other thing as well, obviously I haven't actually driven this game yet. I don't know if there's a sort of graining phase that happens in this game, like in real life, where you get that graining, but once the graining clears up, the tyres come back to you. I don't know if that's replicating this game. Again, I haven't really driven much of it. I've not long had the game, and so we're all sort of guessing here as to what might happen. Stinos has ARL back behind him. Surely ARL must be thinking about going for a move just to ensure that this is done on track and that podium becomes his.
Yeah, 2.9 seconds now going into the stadium sector. Yeah, to be fair to Merck, he's given a good go. Lap 30, he was 11 seconds. So I don't know if he slightly might have got held up, with the Stinos ARL battle, but it's a fair effort. Was it 2.4 seconds? Obviously, our last lap of tonight's race.
Sydney starts it as here comes Kent. Gets a good run out of 11, and he'll do Ashtube before the stadium. And that'll help Kent a little bit, also help out Ashtube a little bit, trying to keep Owen behind as finally the two sister teams going side by side. And Stinos still continues to lead this battle with ARL, looking to the outside now, into turn 4. Can he finally get around it? Yes, he's going to hang around there, so he's going to have that corner, the inside for the next one. Still runs a bit wide, but unfortunately nothing really wrong with that one. ARL had that corner, and in reality, still not, with how tight it is, whoever's on the outside normally will go off the circuit there. So, But we're going to go towards the front. 1.4 seconds is the gap. Unfortunately, Merckx probably needed another lap. But it's been a valiant effort from the Williams to try and get back into to contention for the win of this race. But the Haas of Sydney, he's managed to tie as well. It's a one-stop race from the Haas. He comes through the Peralta for the final time. It is going to be Sydney who wins the Mexican Grand Prix here in IRL for the opener of season 21. Merckx in second. A good drive from him. ARL does take third from Stinos. Yalagisan, he's going to be in fifth in the Mercedes. It's been a nice sort of quiet drive for Yella after those first couple of opening laps. And we have a yellow flag. That's Owen. Oh my word, that was close.
Oh, that was quite dangerous.
That was an interesting rejoin from Owen, but unfortunate for Owen, he spins through the S section. Yalagisan in fifth. Kent is going to be in sixth. A good first race for him. Ashtube is in seventh. Nathan will be in eighth for now, pending his penalties. Sunboy will take 8th place then from Nathan. Owen comes round. What does he have? 10th it is for him. Ruddo in 11th. A bit of an unfortunate one with the tyre wear, but the seems of it for the Ferrari driver. Nitric Ash is in 12th with Typhoon in 13th. And Ginger Tiger will round us out, but he'll take 13th. Typhoon 14th.
Absolutely brilliant racing, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, makes sort of... I'm sort of looking forward to tomorrow when I take part, but quite nervous at the same time because I don't think I could do anything like that. But no, fair play to obviously Sydney. Obviously, managed 23 laps was it in the end on those hard compound tyres. Obviously, Merck obviously giving it a good go, trying to keep up with the pack. But no, yeah, at the end they caught them. But on to the next race next Monday.
Absolutely. And race winner Sydney, fastest lap Merckx, driver of the day Merckx, most overtakes Merckx. But Mikey, would you like to take us through the final or provisional standings?
As it stands, obviously Sydney on the top step, obviously Merckx second, ARL on third, obviously finishes off our podium positions, Stinos in fourth, Yell in fifth, Kent in sixth in the kick Sauber. Ashtube in 7th, 8th for Sunboy, 9th Nathan, 10th Owen, 11th Roddo. Both the McLarens of Nitro and Ginger in 12th and 13th, and Typhon in 14th in the Haas. And everyone else did not finish.
So that's the end of the first race of season number 21 here in IRL, tier number 1. And Sydney opens the account with a win. But it's fair to say he's got a lot of competition this season. Stinos right there, Merckx right there. Obviously, just the strategies coming into play in the tyre wear around Mexico City. But Mikey, where are we headed next for round number 2?
Oh god, the brain's just gone blank, sorry. For race number 2, maybe... The one time my calendar's gone, lovely. 2 seconds, sorry. My phone's decided to book itself. Lovely.
Well, whilst Mikey's looking at that, ARL saying it's a nice result, yeah. Yeah, saying the kept drifting. Yeah, I think that's more down to the circuit itself. Yeah, I think Mexico, you sort of it always encourages that drifting because of the lack of air density, stuff like that. The aero. Yeah, I always found sort of Mexico very very slow in any game. So for sure.
I think the last time I was generally quite comfy, like today, it was around 22, 23. So it would have been obviously what, yeah, it's quite a few years ago now. But
absolutely, yeah. Back next week, even better. And once Mikey finds his calendar, we'll tell you where we're headed. But Obviously, tomorrow we're going to have Tier 2. Myself, I think ARL is joining me, I think, for Tier 2 commentary, I believe. So we're going to be here for Tier 2 at Mexico. Get to see Mikey go drifting tomorrow.
I did football, hopefully not, but that is my luck, as we all have experienced in the past. But no, in regards to our calendar, so next week we have Jeddah.
So the Streets
So,
of Jeddah, which is a mighty fast circuit, very, very fun to drive when you get it right, but lots of peril for round number 2 next week. Going to be a fun one, that's for sure. But yeah, next week we have Saudi Arabia. But do join us tomorrow here on the Invictus Racing League channel for Tier 2 as they start their Season 21 campaign here at Mexico City. Again, myself and I believe ARL joining me for that one. Hopefully you've enjoyed tonight's race, because tomorrow's could be even better with Tier 2. Always get some great action in the second tier of IRL. But if you did like tonight, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. And make sure you turn the notifications on, because you'll never then miss a live race here in Season 21. The whole season live streamed with commentary. Always good to watch every single race this season and see how everyone develops. And see how everyone develops with the game as well, because as we know, new game, everyone will be getting used to it. But for myself and Mikey, thank you for watching tonight. As I say, join us tomorrow for Tier 2. Next week we head to Saudi Arabia for Tier 1 and Tier 2. So join us then as well. But from us tonight, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night.